Good afternoon, everyone. I hope the mic is working. First of all, congratulations and thank you to SVG for inviting and hosting us to this beautiful cricketing venue, which is very apt for this week. And I say apt because, as most of the cricket fans in the room would know, that this Sunday, 19th of this Sunday, saw the grand finale of a month-long men's one-day international cricket finals. Happens every 4 years. Team Australia played brilliant cricket and won the World Cup. So congratulations to all Team Australia fans out there. But why I'm talking about that is that there were two stats, from that match that stayed with me and which are very relevant for what we are discussing, this afternoon. First, that finale was attended by 130,000 fans, in person. To put this in perspective, the beautiful ground that you see outside, I was told that can house about 30,000 fans. So imagine a stadium more than four times, this size, and packed to the very last seat. The second stat, which is even more relevant for this room, was on the final day, there was some sort of record made for TV and streaming, where there were over 55 million concurrent streams for the match. So while Tata was part of delivering that experience, gives great pride to me, but as a member of this industry, when I hear and read about such facts, it gives me it puts what we are talking about here in terms of the future of sport and how technology and what we are doing in future about delivering better fan experiences into perspective. So switching from cricket to tennis, I'm happy to invite my fellow panelist, Carolina, who heads broadcast operations for ATP. We have had a very successful year of tennis, some great contests. When you look back for the past 12 months, how do you see, what were the key highlights for ATP, for tennis, for yourself?
It's been a very interesting season. It's been our first year of 62 tournaments, which is a new record. On top of that, we've also extended some of our flagship tournaments in terms of the number of days. So Rome, Madrid, Shanghai, all went from being 7-day tournaments to 12-day tournaments. And we also welcomed back the return of our Asia tournaments. So this year, first time after COVID, that we've been able to have some of our bigger tournaments, again, Tokyo, Beijing, Shanghai, back onto the tour. So that's been fantastic for us.
Brilliant. So one thing which I was listening very carefully to the all the previous discussions was about the great demand for content and how that is creating a pressure on the production teams to first of all service that sort of demand coming from different platforms. But more importantly, one thing which was very encouraging for me to hear was that how technology is playing an increasing role in creating and servicing those content needs, in coming up with newer ways to engage with the fans, to take that experience deeper. So in your world, first of all, do you see that demand as a challenge or as an opportunity, and how have you used technology to address that?
I think it's both a challenge and an opportunity. I mean, it is challenging in the sense that from a live production perspective, our TV compounds are only so big. So to be able to keep constantly increasing our level of production, space, transporting more equipment, more people, becomes a real challenge in a global sport such as ours. Equally, there is a massive opportunity here that we have had in terms of increasing the number of days for some of our tournaments and adding more tournaments to our pool, that obviously we're getting bigger draws and more players can come on and therefore get more of the prize money. So that overall, adds to the sport. In terms of what we've done is we've done quite a lot of adding behind the scenes. So this year we've added 10 behind the scenes cameras to our live production. And are kind of creating a constant feed that we're making available to our broadcasters. So maybe they can pick up a shot of their home player warming up ahead of a big match. And equally, we've also added that to our own OTT product, and we've been streaming that. So we're able to get closer to our fans that way.
Great. And how have you kind of looked at and changed? You guys were one of the sort of leading spots to embrace remote and cloud production and a hybrid way of looking at how you can produce content. How have you moved ahead on both those directions? How much of a role is remote production playing in your success?
So again, it kind of goes back to probably the space element of it and the logistics element of it. What we've done this year and over the last couple of years since COVID is we've taken our world feed remotely. So that's all being produced back in London here. And this year, what we've done is we've done an extreme amount of testing ahead of next year to be able to remotely cut a court from London. So that's going to make a huge difference to our operations next year ahead of some of our bigger events like Indian Wells and Miami, where we're going to be able to reduce the number of people, the number of equipment that we get out there.
Great. So because we are talking about remote production, one thing which we talk about whenever we talk about that is how it is helping produce more content without breaking the bank, how it is giving opportunities for sports federations to kind of look at producing purpose-fit content for various platforms, whether it is linear or OTT, short-form content for engaging with your fans. One thing which does not necessarily get talked about that much, but is very important, I know, for you and for ATP, and is also very important for Tata, is sustainability. So does use of technologies like remote production help you achieve your roadmap around sustainable growth of your sport? And any examples that you would want to share on that track?
Absolutely. I mean, on a transmission section alone, through the use of technology and through expanding what we do, last year or 2 years ago, I guess we were doing 12 feeds offsite for a bigger tournament like Indian Wells, and this year we did 65, and we used 10 times less equipment. That's less shipping, that's less freight going out, that's less power that's being drawn, that's less cooling that's required. So that's been a major shift, and we've been able to produce a lot more feeds and give out more content to our broadcasters that way.
Perfect, great. My last question, for you, and then we'll wrap up. I'm looking at the timer, as well. When you are talking about sustainability, using technology to go on that path, using technology to do the journey around creating those fan engagement, creating content for building and forging deeper relationship with your with your fans. How much of it is how important it is to select the right technology partner? What is your approach when you're looking at the space? There are so many options out there. What would you look at when selecting the right technology, first of all, and the right technology partners? The second part of that question, how has your experience of working with Tata in that space?
I think it's very important to select the right partners, particularly in this age where we're all on a bit of a journey in terms of remote production. And for us, that has been a journey throughout this year, and it's been a journey since COVID. So selecting a partner that's able to be flexible, be able to move with us, and be willing to push the boundaries a little bit in terms of some of the testing we've wanted to do. We've been very lucky with partners such as yourselves and Gravity Media, who have worked together with us this year to get us to a point where we've tested every single one of our workflows, and we are ready next year to go and remotely produce a court of tennis from the other side of the world. So that's been critical in terms of having that level of flexibility, commitment, and everyone's just getting together and saying, hey, we don't know how this is going to work, but let's give it a go. It's been fantastic.
Perfect. Thank you. No, I think it has been a great experience, us working together. I look forward to, what we would be doing in the next season and for a lot more seasons to come. Thank you, Carolina.
No worries.